Hello and welcome to Potato Ramen. We've got two special guests, one of who needs a bicycle helmet when he eats soup. That would be Old Meaty Guy. And then we've got Dr. Alex, who's not a medical doctor, so everyone please give him all your medical questions. So basically we're going to just like chatter and natter about like Doctor Who. But beforehand, Dr. Alex was saying that he had something about the Master and if the Master and Doctor were more closely created, like connected.
Well, yeah, we were busy talking crap before the stream started about. Well, yeah, old media
Yeah.
guy was a master, and I said, "Oh, yeah, but I was a master of the universe before I became a doctor of time and space." And then I started riffing about the ideas that I'd had about are the Doctor and the Master more closely related, and I have various story ideas that were floating around like that. I also have some other weird ideas of how the Master could really have play merry hell with the Doctor's regenerations, but
Okay.
I'll save that for if I
Yeah.
ever use it.
I had a theory that the Doctor is a Gallifreyan peasant and the Master.
Peasant, did you say?
Yes, a peasant. You saw where he grew up on that farm?
Yeah. There's some. Yeah, exactly. There's some indication of that from the last one, Heaven Sent or whatever the one after it was. You know the one. You know the one.
Yeah. Heaven Sent, Hell Bent.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So then, and you remember when he was talking, I think it was in David Tennant's Regeneration episode, where he was saying, like, you remember, Doctor, when we were running through my father's estates? Now, my father, that would indicate that both the Doctor and Master are born. That they're not are born. The Master to have a father, which I think the Doctor and the Master are older than we actually think.
Older than they're both older than we think, or
okay, so you know the way that Time Lords are genetically loomed because they can't have kids. The genetic loom.
Yes, I've heard this fan theory.
That's a
I was going to say on screen. Basically all my canon's on screen virtually. I have no bloody idea what you're talking about.
But apparently everyone's talking about Time Lords being like loomed and stuff like that. But I would love to.
That started in a novel called Lung Barrow, part of the New Adventures Doctor series thing. But the novels that came out during the period where there was nothing on TV, and so a bunch of fans who. You know, we had a bunch of fans who were sexually repressed, so they came up with the idea that Time Lords don't have sex. And
that really doesn't chime very well with the old Doctor Who, that's for sure. I mean, do you remember what happened to Leela and why she stayed on Gallifrey?
Didn't she get married?
Frustrated if they're not getting any sex, that's for sure.
Yeah, they would not be happy.
One of my things that I would love, like what I was saying about my Doctor, like the Doctor's son coming back, is when he said, I love David Tennant when in the episode when he was talking to the one who was going to become his wife, that my children, No, the actress.
Oh God, yes, the Doctor's daughter. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's such a confusingly incestuous tale that we're trying to get through right now. I mean, married his own daughter. No, wait, that's not right. No.
Well, he did in a way marry his own daughter. I mean,
he did. I mean, you got to keep that genetic purity alive. See Kyle, anyone? Yeah. But anyway.
Apparently she stalked him until he said yes.
Yeah.
How? Wait. He said no?
He thought it was icky from the get-go. I mean, he's being pursued by the significantly younger daughter of the actor who previously played the Doctor. I mean, while he's the Doctor. He thought that was a bit weird and possibly psycho. And that he had a natural reaction to it and tried to fend her off for quite some time, apparently. And in the end, she wore him down. And so
she wore him down, probably corset, leather, usual things.
They've got, I think, 5 kids. I think they're quite happy with each other.
Wait, they've got 5 kids?
Yeah,
I think so.
Jesus Christ!
It's something like that.
Yeah.
Jesus, David, calm down, man.
David Tennant is still a very good-looking man. I mean. look at him from Good Omens, Jessica Jones season 1. He still looks amazing.
CSA, we support your life choices.
Fuck you.
But guys, so when did when did she first say, "Hey, I love your doctor"? And who's your? Everyone knows we have a most loved doctor. Who's the most hated?
Well, hang on. Wait. The current era has ruined that question. I mean, who the hell isn't going to pick Chinball's doctor?
Okay. Well, she's on the top of everyone's list from the previous one.
Apart from Chinball's doctor.
Apart from Chinnot's doctor, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That made it much harder.
It made it much easier. She's just a nightmare to me. That's it. She doesn't exist. She's a nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you ask who's the worst, you can say Jodie. It's easy. As soon as you say apart from Jodie, it's like, well, I actually kind of like these guys. And the doctor, I think, is the worst as an actor. I met in real life, and he was really nice. And I
still think Sylvester McCoy is the worst. Not necessarily entirely for his own acting choice.
No, he was only given to what he was given. Acting to what he was given.
Radagast, I mean, come on.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, like, Radagast was basically just him running around. I don't think that was him acting.
But
Sylvester McCoy is a comic actor, and if you watch his old stuff, he's actually worth watching. But then you put him in a dramatic role, and he doesn't know what to do. It's like, well, thanks, JNT. Thanks for putting this guy in this position. Because JNT at this point,
I think a lot of people. Sorry.
Do you think that Sylvester McCoy got really happy when they say, "Hi, yes, I'm phoning here from the Doctor Who movie. We'd like you to come on set for a while to be in the Doctor Who movie." Oh my God, bringing his kids. Hey, God, I know Dad's going to be in a movie. Dad's going to be in a Doctor Who movie. I'm going to be the Doctor again. Goes on set. Well, here's the gun. Here's the shot. Make a couple of weird faces. Go home.
What I can tell you from my perspective, sitting there at the time, I was living with Hugh and John, who are co-authors of mine and friends of mine for many years. We were all watching it together in a quite Whovian, intense flat.
Yeah.
And we virtually cheered when he got gunned down in the alley. Finally, yes.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
How do you explain them saying that the Doctor's got a half human DNA, like all that stuff?
We just ignore that.
Yeah.
Never mention it again.
I mean,
yes, it's like The Chase. You just ignore it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. I don't. It's not even worth entertaining because you have to really go down the really far reaches of your mind to the dark places to even come up with a plausible theory as to how that's even possible.
I think that Stephen Moffat basically completely and utterly quashed that with the fact with the woman who was employed to be his mother being a Gallifreyan Time Lord. Like, yeah. So he can't have any half human DNA then because he's a Time Lord.
Yeah.
So
we all ignored it as soon as they said it. I mean, nobody took that seriously.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Everyone's just watching, and then like there's weird things like he can walk through walls and everything like that. What did you think of Smith? I've had a few people I know who are lifelong Whovians not really like Smith that much. Some people thought he was annoying.
Are you talking to me or who?
All the panel. Yeah, so you can go ahead because you brought yourself up. So let's put you on the spot. Will we?
What? No,
That's what.
What?
Now, Dr. Alex, what do you...
Did you zoom in on me?
Yes.
Oh, God's sake.
So, what do you think of Matt Smith? Oh my God,
Smith?
I love that Dr. Doom mask. I'm keeping that. Give me your address. I'm coming to get it.
Whoa, hang on. The Doom, that thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want
that
this.
was from Anti-Trekker. I won.
I know.
Yeah. I just entered it and won it, which I think annoyed. I think people thought it was fixed or something because the amount of super chats I've been sending or something. But no, it was just chance. It was drawn out of a hat and I got it. So woohoo. Still waiting for that black spaceship though. Anyway, the question. There was a question, wasn't there?
Yeah. Apparently. So the question. So this is how we run. We run on tangents. But basically, I was asking, like, what did you think of Matt Smith, Stalker?
Me? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I came very late to Matt Smith. Look, Jodie Whittaker's doctor. Oh, let's get Chimball's doctor.
Yeah,
Was not the first doctor to turn me off, or at least leave me disinterested. Because when Matt Smith was revealed as the next Doctor, my initial reaction was, "My God, he's so young. If they get any younger, they'll be just casting fetuses. This is ridiculous." And I'd never seen him or anything, never heard of him, so I just didn't care enough, and I didn't watch the Matt Smith Doctor for about 3 years. And then I just no one was saying bad things about it, and most people were reasonably happy with it. So okay, I'll start watching it now. And I got in with the first. I didn't see any of the intermediate. I didn't spoil it. So I went back to the first one of Matt Smith and started watching. I thought, oh my God, this is brilliant. Very quickly, in my opinion, I think he was doing basically Patrick Troughton trapped in a young man's body. It was very much Troughton-like mannerisms and speech patterns. And I just, when you saw him doing that, I thought, yes, that's brilliant. I forgive you your hideously young skin. You are doing the right thing. You're putting this old man in a young man's body. It looks perfect. So I was very taken with his portrayal. I have no complaints. I do think he's right up with some of the best Doctors.
He is my favorite Doctor. CSA, do you have a history with Doctor Who?
Yeah, so I started watching it. My ex actually got me into Doctor Who, and so so my history with Doctor Who goes from, who was before Tennant, the Doctor before Tennant? Eccleston. I started with Eccleston, ended with the first season of who was the guy after Matt Smith?
Capaldi.
Capaldi. So my run with Doctor Who begins with Eccleston, first episode, all the way till the end of the first season with Capaldi. That's my time of Doctor Who, because Capaldi just didn't. He was good. He just didn't suck me in like the other Doctors
Capaldi's
did.
Good, but the writing was not.
Yes, okay. I think it was more the writing. He did what he could, but unfortunately, there has to be that Doctor and story dynamic, and if one of those is off, it just doesn't suck you in.
No, for me, Capaldi's biggest problem was two things. One, Clara Oswald. That was his biggest problem. I hated her when they came to Capaldi, right? And I still remember the moment that I said to myself, I'm going to hate this bitch. Basically, when she claimed that she was the Doctor, and then she claimed she was the Doctor like every 5 minutes afterwards. It's like, I'm the Doctor. Like, just stop. Just sit down for a while and go back to bed. And then the Doctor saying that he was in love with her.
Yeah.
Do you remember that, Dr. Alex? Where he actually said that he was in love with her?
He's a what?
Where Capaldi said that he was in love with Clara Oswald.
The Doctor or the actor?
Doctor.
I actually that bit I'd forgotten.
Okay, so basically what happened was he was talking, and this was just after Danny showed up. He was still in the school, right? And she's like, Doctor, it's not my fault. It's not my fault that you got confused that I was in love with you. And he's like, no, it's the other way around.
Yeah.
And I'm there. I would like to introduce to the panel, well, most of you know him, Professor Brainy Specs. Hey, dude.
Hello, Ray.
Hey, Professor.
Hello.
Greetings.
Hey,
Greetings, everyone.
So we were just talking about how much we hated Sylvester McCoy. Go ahead.
Oh, I got to go. Talk to you all later. Bye.
That's only because we discounted Jodie Whittaker.
No, but we're just talking like Doctor Who and theories and stuff like that. And then in a little bit, we're going to really plug Dr. Alex's books because he is a writer.
Yes, he is.
Doctor, show us your alphabet words.
Now, there must be some timey-wiminess going on because I was told this was at 10 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time.
Yes,
and it's only 9.
10. No, it's 10.
No, Greenwich Mean Time. It's 9:15, 9:14.
No, it's 10:14.
Yep,
Dr. Alex,
timey-wiminess
what time
going
is
on
it there?
But it is British summertime.
Yeah, we went forward.
Yeah.
And that's not Greenwich Mean Time, but that's another story.
It's GMT +1.
I
what
will
did you want
hit
to-
both of you. But no, I was just going to show show to the audience your alphabet books.
Oh, right, okay. Shall I do it in
Yeah.
the most recent
Show
one
him your
first?
piles, mate.
Yeah. I had people examining my piles earlier.
Wow.
Oh, that's great piles you got, mate.
I'll go in reverse order. Oh no, actually, that's not. Oh damn it! It's on the bottom.
He's going to read them from back to front.
Right,
Oh wow,
that's what
this
I'm
is manga.
That's what I'm currently writing, but it's not. It doesn't exist. All right. So
you need the biggest,
it has
He's got the
nothing-
make his
book.
big image book. You know, his
except for the
image
first
back.
few pages
Oh,
of the
yeah,
first
big.
chapter. Spoilers. Ugh, there you go.
Hey, Dr.
Um,
Alex, did you
but-
ever see that ad for The Irish Way where the father is reading to his kid? It was played really hard last summer in England and Ireland, right? This dad is reading to his kid and he's
Uh-huh.
reading a book and everything like that. But then at the end of it, they're moving. And when the kid opens the book is blank.
Brevin,
Mm.
Yes.
make Dr. Alex's image big.
Okay, I'll rub it
You've done that already.
nicely.
Sure it's-
Yeah, I did.
Oh
Hey,
God,
Dr. Alex.
There we go.
there's certain
Dr.
bits of
Alex, I just thought of
information I don't
something.
I'm
need.
having to grope through my piles right now. This is unpleasant stuff. Oh god.
So what you're saying is that you're fingering your piles?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Hey,
Lord
Dr.
have
Alex, I just thought of
mercy.
something. If you listen,
Like-
if you add pictures to your books, then Potato Revan would read them.
Excuse you, I still can't read pictures.
It's got a cover image. It's got a cover image. Is enough? You know, you could just like stare at the
That's
cover
pretty
and it's like the swirly, timey wiminess of it all.
When
Um,
I was high on painkillers, I came up with the concept of pop-up porn books.
Of course you do.
I believe they
should
just
have
call that
expected this.
porn. I mean, I believe they just call it porn
Well, anyway.
nowadays.
Dr. Alex, let's go.
Yeah. Hello, I'm here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Plug.
you want me to say something?
Yes.
Greetings, Dr. Alex.
Oh, hello. Yeah, okay. This is the latest book. The Doctor Reads the Doctor by the Doctor Regenerations Past, which confusingly is the oldest material because this is a compilation of everything I've written in Doctor Who before the season 12 stuff that I made the recent series on YouTube from. The other way around, the series on YouTube became the book before this, which was
Yeah.
The Doctor Reads the Doctor by the Doctor season 12. But then I was inspired by my good friend and editor, Eon, to go back and look at my old stories. And she basically made me see that even the oldest ones, which I kind of was a bit dodgy about and felt they were a little bit immature and didn't have the artistic worth to put into back out again, because they have been
Yeah.
published in very small forms. But she convinced me that they were all basically, they had some value and they were entertaining and they were good enough to read again. So I stuffed them all in this book because that was like, apart from
Yeah.
the editing, we had to go and edit them, make sure there were no typos and stuff like that, and tweak the odd sentence, but nothing dramatic. We wanted them published essentially in the form they were originally published. So there wasn't massive amounts to change. It was just checking and making sure there's no stupid things. But yeah, it was in a way the easiest book to make because everything in here had already come out once already. But none of it was in print anymore. Okay, I can flash my pile of Big Finish at you. That one's not got me in. Why have I got that one out? There's a reason
As
why
we
I've
see
got
here, an author with his love for the written word. Fuck off.
All right. So these three Big Finish short trips. God, why is that going that way? Oh, back to front. These Big Finish short trips volumes are all out of print now. So they were also made into YouTube videos before I even started doing the season 12. But they are all now preserved forever in The Doctor Reads the Doctor by the Doctor Regenerations Past. So they're in there.
Pretty sure you could have fit one more doctor in that.
Wait a minute. I covered some maths. This is hard. The 3 stories I wrote before. Does that make sense? No, the 2 stories I wrote before the Big Finish ones are in.
Wait,
here.
hold on. You're a cosmologist in 3 and 2. It's hard for you.
Wait. I'm still doing maths. Hang on. The 3 that were in the before.
5. Frieza.
Well, I'm going to cheat. I can't remember. There are 8 in here in total. All right. Yeah. Flipping heck. Okay. Yeah, the two before the Big Finish ones are in here, and the 3 after the Big Finish ones that were written and in one case published are in here too. Basically, it's all in here. All the old Doctor Who's in here, and it's awesome. And especially for Professor Brainy Specs, the 7th Doctor is the first story in here.
Ooh.
Terrific.
Never say I have no respect for the 7th Doctor. Then read the story, and then I might have to take that back. But anyway, there you go. It's the first one in there.
No.
Well, when he's written properly, he's good. And I'm sure you wrote him properly, Dr. Alex.
No, I'm not sure how proper we were at the time. Anyway, yeah.
That was after a couple of whiskeys and a couple of pints of ale,
dear.
you know.
Anyone who's
You simply
go on.
You see Dr. Alex, and he's there, and he's like, you know, it's St. Patrick's Day. I'm sure I've got some Irish in me. Let's awaken me ancestors. And then, like 72 whiskeys later, it's like, oh God, wakes up and his printer's printing off. It's like email to the editor. He's like, what did I do?
My nan was Wirral Irish, and all of her family were from Ireland. She spent a lot of time going back and forth between,
Rural Irish?
Wirral, just south of Liverpool.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry.
She spent a lot of time going back and forth between family members in Ireland.
Yeah.
Both, I think, around the Dublin area, but also in Sligo and back and forth to the Wirral.
Actually, here's something funny. There's actually a place called the Wirral in Dublin as well.
Really?
Yeah, it's known for killing kids.
Oh, that's not good.
No, it's a whirlpool where like 7 kids fell in and none of them came out.
Ooh,
it's a hilarious story. I'll tell you later.
Hilarious.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, like, okay. So, does anyone have any headcanons or anything like that, or any fun stuff like that about Doctor Who? Because we've all got stuff like this in our heads.
I mean, I've always wondered, like, if Doctor Who were like the American version, but still had that same kind of feel of the Doctor, but just you did it as like an American with American stuff. That'd be American. What would it look like? I've always wondered that, and everyone's like, "That's heresy." I'm like, it's just a question. I'm not writing 666 on you, okay? It's just a question.
I'll carve it on you, but the thing is, you can't do Doctor Who. I would give you another Time Lord.
It doesn't have to be Doctor Who, but I'm saying, but like a Doctor Who-esque show. Where the same feel of Doctor Who, and it was Doctor Who, but it was just done in American form.
You want to go, Dr. Alex? I can see your head ticking.
I was just thinking that the CW show, which had them driving through space.
Yeah, it was the various heroes. Legends of Tomorrow.
Yes,
that one. That's it.
That has some of that aspect to it. Well, they dumped an English character as the sort of lead holding it all together.
They actually brought Rory into it.
Yeah, it was Rory. The actor who played Rory.
No. Actually, yeah, that was Rory.
It's the same actor. It's not Rory himself, but it's the same
Rory.
actor who played Rory.
Yeah, but he looks a lot different with the beard and moustache.
That is true, yes.
But no, he was good. I actually enjoyed the first season.
Also, the bald fella, he's from Liverpool. You know the big, hey, I'm gonna break you. You know the big tall dude with the glasses?
Big tall dude with glasses.
No, he usually wore sunglasses. He was always drinking.
Oh wait, wasn't he the one who had the flamethrower normally?
Yes.
Oh yeah, him. Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he quit today, and he's from Liverpool.
Ah, very cool.
So there you go.
Yeah, I think that had potential. Although I kind of stopped watching it after a couple of seasons, maybe 3. It was starting to seem to lose direction, I think
it went insane.
Say again?
It went insane. They fought a 50-foot tall teddy bear, and I'm not joking.
Okay,
I've never seen the show.
It does have that Doctor Who-esque feel about it. Yeah. It's imagine if Doctor Who and superheroes kind of merged. That's kind of that's how the first 2 seasons were.
I love the end of the first season of that, because talking about Doctor Who had the most Doctor Who feel, where he lost his best friend and he went back to before like everything happened, and he got sit down at a bar, and he's like, "Hey man, did I ever tell you how much it actually means to me?" And he's like, "Dude, stop being weird." But it was him actually getting to say goodbye.
Yeah, I think the series really had some potential. The first couple of seasons, weren't disappointing by any stretch. I think when they lost Rory, the Rory Doctor character, it started to lose some of its cohesion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's kind of how I've imagined if you were to do a different kind of Doctor Who. He would have like a high-tech kind of specialized ship. It wouldn't be a spaceship per se, although it might look like one, but it could do similar things to what the TARDIS does. And I've always imagined him being armed with some sort of weapon, maybe not his primary thing he uses, but he's always armed because, again, you don't know who you're going to be coming in contact with. And let's just be real. How many times does the sonic screwdriver really save him when he's getting shot at?
I had this idea. I know Professor Brady Specs, but you're not going like this. But if you were to
go ahead,
you could basically just say, like, I was going to say have the Doctor's son or something like that, because that's who my head character. This is just my head character now. It's the Doctor's son. He's out of the Time War, but the thing is, he's still carrying the weapon, a hyper screwdriver, which is a weapon to kill. Right? And he has a battle TARDIS. Now, the thing is, I have not decided on a shape yet, because in my head, when he walks out, it's literally a tree in the middle of Central Park smoking. Because the chameleon circuit is still working. Right? So everyone's like, wait, why is that tree smoking? And he's like, crap, my perception filter isn't working. So he has to go back in, and then his TARDIS gets all fixed up. But the thing is, if you made him not care about what it looked like, then you could make him have any Dr. Alex. No, sorry, Omega Guy. I'll make you into a mod in a few minutes, okay? So you can actually post the proper thing. But then you could have him walk out, and I was going to say that there's someone who dies when he shows up. Say there's a great fire or something, and this person's going to die, but he takes her out of time. She becomes his companion. But his whole journey is him turning from a Puron soldier into I'm going to kill everyone I see, like straight out of hell, straight out of the Time War. I love you too, Professor. Right, straight out of hell, straight out of the Time War. And you could even throw in references to the Doctor. Like, I remember when I was growing up, my father, I remember this. I remember my father, he taught me and everything. And they're like, where's your father? And he's like, somewhere. But because he don't know where the Doctor actually is. It's like, where's your dad? Somewhere. And that, but it's his journey of how he becomes an actually good person. And when it starts off, you don't really care about the companion. It's just a person to him. And then at the end of it, when she goes back to the moment where she has to die, he's there and he's broken. But at one point, when he stops being proper, I'm going to kill everyone, he gets a sonic screwdriver. But that hyper screwdriver is always in his pocket.
I kind of like the laser screwdriver that the Master had. Yeah, because you could use that as both in the ways a sonic screwdriver would, but also as an actual laser weapon.
Well, yeah.
So I would do a laser screwdriver if it were mine, but that's just my opinion.
I would honestly, I'd want the entire collection of Sonics, but that thing costs a couple of $100. What about you, Dr. Alex? You have a Sonic screwdriver right there beside you. I know you do.
Is there a question? I lost that.
What about you? What would you like the entire collection, or would you like one or two more screwdrivers? And I'm talking about the metal ones.
You mean actual screwdrivers?
No. There's these sonic screwdrivers that are really, really expensive, and they're actually made out of metal.
Well, I didn't know that. Where did
go to Comic-Con?
Okay.
Forbidden Planet. That's where you got that, because that's what he told me. You got that from Forbidden
Planet. Are they officially licensed?
Got a cobweb attached to it.
I've seen a couple of them. Yeah, wow. Now the only ones I know, because I know that the ones that you get in the box, a load of them are discontinued. So you'd be looking, but I know that it goes. There's the Matt Smith one, which is officially licensed. Then they used to do a David Tennant, but that was discontinued.
I used to
there's-
have the David Tennant one. It was the little plastic one. It wasn't like the heavy metal one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I still have that somewhere.
Yeah,
We
mine
all
got
do.
broke.
Mine
I was very sad.
mine got eaten by a dog. He thought it was a toy. Never buy a hunting dog, guys.
Was it K9?
No, it was Bertie. He's a little fucking shit, but I love him. But but Doctor, you want to plug your book some more?
Oh,
There's a-
yeah. So
Yeah.
we just flash Regenerations Past, didn't we? I still have. I gave away the big version that I had printed for Regenerations Past, and that person still hasn't received it. I think because they would have let me know. I suspect. But I have a giant version of the previous book that was published on Amazon. They're both there on Amazon to buy. I
Hello, Matt.
recommend everyone go out and buy it.
Yeah.
This is
the link is in the chat, by the way.
Say what?
The link's in the chat.
Oh, grand. Thank you. This is The Doctor Reads the Doctor by the Doctor not Regenerations, season 12, which is based upon the full alternate Doctor Who season, which is on YouTube, which I have produced along with my great friend Eon, who's been the editor and co-star for all but one of the episodes. The first episode doesn't have a female co-star in it, but every other one does. So she's been everyone playing multiple characters, and she's excellent.
Revan.
And her editing skills have made sure that I haven't effed up any of the chapters to any great degree, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Enlarge his picture. Come on.
Yeah.
Embiggen
Yes,
him.
It's okay. It's okay. It's that whiskey blood of his. It gets to him sometimes.
Yeah,
So,
we
yeah,
forgive him. We
giant
love him.
version,
My ancestors are proud of me.
which you can only get if you become a Patreon supporter at the highest level of me, which Life with Matthew has done. And he informed me today he's received his second only version copy of this. So he has a hardback. Everyone else, you have to go to Amazon again, flash the real thing, and get the amazing Amazon Kindle paperback, which is I love Amazon now. I mean,
Doctor, could I give you a little suggestion? What
Yeah,
if you put Time Lord writing on it? You know the gold, the writing that's on like the Gallifrey stuff, the Gallifrey writing.
look, we're already
circular
playing
writing.
fast and loose with copyright here. I don't want to actually be nicking their artwork as well, for God's sake.
I mean, we don't want him. We don't want to hear about him in the news in 3 weeks and a massive lawsuit and everything.
Exactly.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's
I'm happy to have this a world separate from the BBC and all of their everything to do, and particularly right now. And I'm happy to have my own artwork. I mean, it's a Doctor Who-esque font that I use. The imagery is actually all generated from stuff that I've produced. It'll be the thumbnails for the videos themselves actually end up being what makes this weird twisty
Who
thing. on
is
all
your
the covers.
Doctor?
Huh? Say again?
Who is your Doctor?
The one I... Well,
No, the one in the
started
story.
off.
Like who? Yeah.
Oh,
No,
whoa, hang on, say
in
that
the-
again.
In the story, who's your Doctor? Who's the
In
one
this
followed?
one,
Yeah.
The Doctor is the Doctor by the Doctor season 12 is essentially the Peter Capaldi 12th Doctor, which is why
Gotcha.
in most of the streams you've seen me in, I'm dressed in a 12th Doctor-like outfit. In all the video, every episode of this, I'm in a 12th Doctor outfit. He has technically regenerated. He's had his regeneration that was badly distorted by him being shot by that nasty, dirty Cyberman weapon. He's had that fixed by helpful intervention by another character you all love, I'm sure. So go away and watch my video on YouTube or buy the book, and I don't want to spoil too much. But he gets it fixed. He doesn't regenerate into... he doesn't suddenly become a transgender Doctor. But he does regenerate with the same face. And the person who helps him out takes the piss out of him a little bit, particularly because he's aware that the Doctor has burnt regenerations and kept the same face before, because this has happened under the Tennant Doctor, if I remember rightly. He essentially regenerates and keeps the same face. So it's something they can do. At least that's something he's done. So he's regenerated. He's in the same face. He's very much the Capaldi Doctor, but because of characters I introduce as it goes through that are forced on him, essentially, in many cases, certain characters reappear, and he ends up morphing a little into a 12th Doctor, but with more than a dash of 4. coming in. He
Oh,
ends up
okay.
being lumbered with the Fourth Doctor's screwdriver, for example. I'll do one spoiler. K9 comes into this and is in most of the series. So he ends up with K9, a sonic screwdriver that wasn't his, or isn't the 12th Doctor's sonic shades. You'll find out if you watch the first one or read this, where the sonic shades end up. And he visits a few other things that give him, cause to look at the past. There's a brief visit to Mondas, which is certainly something he didn't want to do, but he ends up there. I'm trying to think there are any other references that. Oh God, yes, I'm going senile old age. The second episode makes heavy and very emotionally dark references to his Fourth Doctor past. It suddenly calls back memories from his Fourth Doctor. So it gets increasingly blended 12th and 4th characters, except in the final episode, maybe episode and a bit going to the penultimate episode, where another reminder jerks him a little bit more back into the 12th Doctor persona. But that's kind of a running theme all the way through. He's kind of oscillating or drifting from one way of behavior into another, but then there are things that upset and jerk him back into another direction. But anyway, not too many spoilers.
That sounds awesome.
So may I ask a question, Revan, of Dr. Alex?
Go ahead.
You mentioned the transgender doctor. What did you think of Missy as the master?
Oh, I knew. Well, first of all, the second they did that, I knew they were going to make the Doctor a woman. It was just bloody obvious. So you can't just pile all this on Chimble, although by all means, have a go at him and denigrate him as much as you like, because he's clearly inept and an idiot. But he wasn't the only person pushing this direction, because as soon as they made the Master into a woman, I knew, obviously now they're going to make the Doctor a woman, and I knew it would be with Capaldi, and it was just, I can't believe anyone was surprised when it happened.
There were so many different.
Go on.
Go ahead.
Your question was, do I think it was a good idea or not? Yeah.
Well, what did you think of the character?
I liked Missy, the actress who played Michelle Gomez.
Yeah,
she's very good.
Yes.
Yeah, she's very good, and the character she portrayed is very good. It's on thin ice ethically, I think, or at least in terms of how you write your characters. When you do decide to make a transgender character for the first time, as far as I'm aware, in Doctor Who, at least there's a main character in, as far as we know, a race that doesn't seem to do this very often. So very, very much analogous with what's going on with humans. Then you make it a psychopath. So your first transgender representation is a psychopath. It's like Thingy and Mr. Wynn from Diamonds Are Forever. That's your first. If that's going to be your first gay representation, that's probably not the way you want to go. That was a Bond reference, by the way.
I did catch that.
Thank you.
I thought it sounded familiar. I just wasn't sure.
They were the first gay characters I can remember in a Bond film, and they weren't exactly heroes. Let's put it that way.
My biggest problem with I knew that, like with Missy, that the Doctor was going to become a woman. That's like but my biggest problem was, hi, I'm Billy. I'm gay, Billy. I'm gay. Did I tell you I'm gay, Billy? You know her? She's gay.
Bill Potts.
Bill Potts.
Bill Potts.
Oh,
Every episode, she reminded someone she's gay because she's gay. Did you know she's gay? She's gay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Why is this
You
news?
didn't know that she's gay?
No.
Sounds
Did they
like-
mention that?
Sounds like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Hey, did you know he's black? I don't know. Do you know he's black? Yeah, you know he's black, right? Yeah, he's black.
But then they had, I believe, they had like references to the Doctor going to smash the glass ceiling and things like that. In the trailer for the Regeneration episode, he went up to a glass ceiling. I didn't watch the episode. I don't know if they used it, but that was in the trailer, right?
No.
Then someone said, "Was the future going to be all women?" The Doctor said, "I should hope so." I literally groaned and rolled my eyes.
I know.
Yeah,
The master asked. Yeah, the master asked him that.
Yeah.
And that's when you realize this wasn't going to be a gender swap for an alien character. This is female supremacy. This is women are better than men. That's the message that began with Madame Vastra. and moved to its logical conclusion with Jodie Whittaker saying, "I've had an upgrade."
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That was
Zebulon
cringy.
Zebulon says that it really amazes me to see how the Doctor community is also working to keep the spirit of the show alive. I'm also hoping it's a good sign for the preservation of the culture. Yes, Zebulon, it absolutely is. When I'd be at Comic-Con and things like that, even though you'd see people, oh, I hate Jodie, I hate Chibnall, they'd be standing there dressed as David Tennant. Or they'd be standing there dressed as Capaldi and things like that, saying to you, oh, I hate this current writing. And they're like, but maybe the next Doctor I'll come back to. Because that's what I think is happening. That a lot of the community is actually waiting to come back. They just really don't like this Doctor.
Yeah, but the thing is, unless they somehow miraculously write it away, like I did,
Yeah.
I don't think people will ever get past the fact that they screwed it up, because that screw up is fixed in. It's one thing to ignore one line where they say, "Oh, I'm half human," to eradicate the idiocy of their decisions they've made with series 11 and 12.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure the fandom's ready to come back to that. I mean, how do you gloss over, except in the way that I did, of course, because I'm brilliant and I know how to do it. But I can't see the BBC gracefully putting this back together. Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall, smashed himself, and then got fried, I think, with a sunlight.
Well, this is also the same company who said that Idris Elba's Luther is not black enough because he doesn't eat Caribbean food or have any black friends.
I know. It is,
They said that?
like,
Yeah.
They actually said that. They said because his character in the show doesn't have any other black friends, or he doesn't go to restaurants that serve Caribbean food, he's not black enough.
What?
They actually, it went around a lot of the YouTubers I follow. They were doing articles about it. It was, I mean, it's bad. So I've got a question, and Revan, I've never actually asked you this question before, so it's gonna be interesting to hear your answer. I got a question for everybody here. Out of these two arch nemesis of the Doctor, which would you love to see go because they've been so overused? The Daleks or the Cybermen?
Both.
No, you can only pick one. One. Because they've both been overused and reintroduced so many times. It's like, okay, come up with something else or give them a good ending.
Daleks, because I think the Cybermen, you can add in a more emotional feeling to it because a load of the people have broken out and like when they realize that they're Cybermen, so you could give it a weird twist or something like that. But with the Daleks, they're just squids in the battle tank to me at this stage.
Okay.
What about you, Dr. Alex? We'll go left to right. So okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure either of them need to be used ever again. I mean, I'm avoiding using a lot of the existing creatures in my work. I mean, I reference them as and when I see them appropriate, but I don't know. They have both been very overused. So the Daleks are still somehow scarier, although having watched the very first Cybermen episode, they were a different level of creepy in that from the later ones. I kind of like some of the later. I can't remember which. It could have been anywhere from Davidson to McCoy, but some of the Cybermen seem to have a bit of a sense of humor. They're at least sort of like a dark, laconic wit going on. It was a bit like the original Cylons when they were basically gently ribbing Boltar, and it was they had a little bit of humor. I kind of like this. I think the original Cybermen anyway, they had some legs, and they could have gone. We could do some more with them, maybe.
Yeah, what about you?
So chuck the Daleks then.
Well, the Daleks are so iconic with the show. I mean, they were in the second story. They made the show. I don't know how you can get rid of them. I don't know how you can get rid of either of them, really, but they both need a break.
I think that's what he means.
Definitely, if there's going to be a break, I would go with the Cybermen. I think they've been poorly written for the most part since the show came back in 2005. I think the Daleks, on the whole, although they've had their poor episodes, they've been written better than the Cybermen have. If there was better writing, I'd go the other way. But I'd have to pick the Cybermen right now.
CSA, since you asked the question, what about you?
For me, I mean, I think both have been overused so much, and to me, the Cybermen, I'm fine keeping the Cybermen and getting rid of the Daleks, because the Daleks you can't really do anything else with in terms of any character. Every time you introduce the Daleks, they do the same old Dalek thing. It's so repetitive. At least with the Cybermen, there's an evolution, whether you agree with it or not. They're at least trying to progress the Cybermen along as a villainous race.
Yeah.
But the Daleks are the Daleks. They never change, ever.
My main problem with the Daleks is since they came back, Eccleston has literally disintegrated them. They've all been blown up in the Time War. Then they've been blown up again. Then they've been blown up multiple times. They've been killed, wiped out, destroyed. Davros and all the Daleks died, but yet they still managed to come back with millions of Daleks.
Yeah, the Daleks just seem like a big old plot hole at this point.
They are. I have a question for you guys.
Do I get to answer one?
Oh, hey, sorry. No,
this is like the fourth or fifth question I've just been skipped over, man. Stop, put whiskey down, and count the number of guests on your panel.
Well,
go ahead.
By all means, old media guy, answer.
Yeah.
I'm not old media guy. I am the master.
Okay,
and
master.
You will obey me. Sorry, what was the question? No, I'm kidding.
I need a safe word.
Pineapple.
All right, here's how you bring back the Daleks. You introduce a Dalek civil war.
Okay.
But you actually cause harm to the Daleks during this war, because Revan is completely right. Oh, they've been blown out of space and time. They're back. Oh, they've been blown out of space and time. They're back. Oh, for Pete's sake. So here's what you do. You instigate a literal civil war between the Daleks. It's so bad that they are the separate Dalek colonies are clinging to the edge of the cosmos, kind of like the Cybermen are. And some of them are just afraid to move, because now that the Daleks have fought each other, the other races are just turning on the Daleks and wiping them out. So for the first time since they were trapped in their city in the very first episode they appeared in Doctor Who, they are alone and afraid. So what caused this civil war? The Civil War was caused by an idea that someone came up with 25 years ago. So I get no credit for this, which is the Spider Daleks. The Spider Dalek design would be much more CGI and, frankly, be a lot more creepy. Think Shelob, but a cyborg. Okay. And the Daleks that the Doctor faces are the Spider Daleks, and their character is a bit different, because the original Daleks were supposed to be analogs to the Nazis. So back in 1963, you'd have mom and dad and granddad or whatever telling the kids, back in 45, we had to face Nazis and all that stuff. And the reason that the kids liked the Daleks was it was an external representation of that threat that they had grown up hearing about but never seen. So suddenly they're seeing something they can grasp onto, go, that's the threat they're talking about. I got it. Well, we don't have that threat right now, or at least we do have the threat, but we're not going to take it seriously. Anyway, so what we need is a threat from the shadows. So the Spider Daleks are coming out of the shadows, out of the sewers. They're playing really dirty. They're not just running up to you saying exterminate. They're doing some very creepy, awful things. The awful things are off camera because this is that kind of a show. And whenever they're around, you feel this creeping sense of dread. That's what would work with the Daleks. Now, for the Cybermen, they also could be retooled. What doesn't work with them is they're this massive army that all move in lockstep. The most creepy thing about the Cybermen ever was their second episode, 10th Planet Episode 2, where Polly says, "Don't you mind? We're all going to die." They go, "Why should we mind?" And he meant it. You could tell he's just like, I don't even get your concern. So you're telling us you're going to take us to Mondaf and chop off all our limbs and take away our emotions, and you're okay with that? Yes, they were. So what you need is the sense that we all feel in this modern world, that there are so many layers of abstraction between us and the people actually in charge that we can never get to them, and they're just making decisions we don't like. And if we don't like it, they're going to push us to the fringes of society. That's the kind of feeling you need to get with the Cybermen, is that they are so far above you in term. Let's say they're sociopaths of a very high order, if not psychopaths, and they have a lot of power. And they also have to operate within the shadows, not because I want to repeat myself with my approach to the Daleks, but because that is where our threats seem to be coming from in this modern world, which is we go outside and everything looks fine. And the news says, no, there's all this other bad things happening you don't know about. So that's why the villains have to be operating from the shadows for a while.
Yeah, so basically, instead of, say, the Cybermen coming to Earth and all appearing, the Doctor arrives on a planet, say the TARDIS has to recharge, and it turns out the planet's infested by Cybermen. Basically. Like, the Doctor goes to the Cyberman instead of Cybermen coming to the Doctor.
Yeah, that would make an interesting story, because if the planet is completely taken over by the Cybermen, does the Doctor have the right to interfere?
Yeah. I also had an idea. Like, what if the... Yeah, I can feel Brainy Specs rubbing his face. What if the Doctor finds people, say an army, a colony, right? And these people are making a space empire or whatever. And the Doctor, at the end of it, he's there and he only knows their first names. Say they're like Ulas and Manhattan, whatever their names are. And at the end of it, he's like, I never asked, what race are you? He goes, we were a colony from our original world long ago. We're the Khalids. And the Doctor just looks at him and he's like, what? Like, yeah, we're the Khalids. He goes, we came from Skaro a long time ago, before the Time War. Before everything. And they were never turned into Daleks. They were never turned into the thing. And now when these guys show up, when one of them walks out, and you see at the end of the episode, they go to fight the Daleks, and they're standing there, and the Daleks are like, these are pure, these are us, but what we desire to be, pure. And you see them, and they're like, okay, we can use these. It's like, what would human Khalids do with an army of Daleks who now listen to them?
Yeah, that would be interesting.
That would be. I mean, something that we never truly really got to see a whole lot of, at least from my viewing, granted, I am very much an amateur when it comes to Doctor Who, is we never got to see more of the Time War and the toll it took. Like, the only time we got that is from, I think it was the 50th anniversary when Smith and Tennant were in the same episode.
We got that, and then there was a snippet of it in David Tennant's Regeneration episode, and I believe there was a part of it from Capaldi, because we had the afterwards of it, because we had the General as well. He was in it when he regenerated into a woman and said, oh, that testosterone. So she was there, but we got the aftermath of it. But the thing is, CSA, you can't do it. It's too big and too advanced. You really can't do it on a TV scale. It's
no.
Yeah,
it'd be very difficult to do it.
No, I'm not saying a full-on thing. I'm just saying I wish we got, like, just more of it in some way, shape, or form. Like, during what happens, not necessarily seeing the war itself, but just the toll it took on the galaxy. Because remember, it was a galaxy. It was a universal-wide war. What was that toll? Was that taking on the universe during the war?
Well, we did get other tastes of that.
Paul McGann episode gave a little bit of a hint of that as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Dr. Alex's first book actually deals with that a bit better than the BBC did. Season 12, where the universe is fractured.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
I realized that wasn't meant to be Time War, but I thought that was a more interesting idea than what the BBC did, which is, Time War's over, we're all fine now. Here, fine, thank you. How are you?
For CSA, what you could actually do is when the Doctor was talking about the Time War, the one thing that really stood out is like the doctor was talking about all the different things. He's like, I was there at the time, or I was there when Arcadia fell. It's like, why did this one thing? Why did he single this one thing out? What happened? So if you wanted to see, you could have maybe the 65th to 70th anniversary where the Doctor goes back in time. Don't bring in John Hurt because it's hard. He's dead now. So just bring in, maybe bring David Tennant or someone like that in. Or even bring Christopher Eccleston in because he is fresh from the Time War, right? In the Doctor's timeline. And he could have him there and he's like, where are we? And the Doctor's turning and looking around and saying, we're in Arcadia. You were saying, Professor?
I don't know if Christopher Eccleston's Doctor is directly after the Time War.
We do.
I guess he is because we did get the regeneration scene with the War Doctor.
Well, I'm not even talking about him the same day. I'm just talking about him soon after because timeline-wise, he's fresh from the Time War. All those memories are fresh to him.
Right.
So you could.
We did get a taste of that in The Unquiet Dead as well.
Yeah.
Where we see how it affected the rest of the universe in a way, in a part.
Don't forget as well, though, that tree race who was there with Eccleston, she turned around and she apologized. I'm so sorry for what happened. So she knew what happened.
Yeah, the end of the world. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, so you should have more races when they turn around, they're like, you're a Time Lord. I'm so sorry. I'd even like that. Or else, what you could even throw in, just have a mystery of, I met a Time Lord once. Yeah, and you see the Doctor, that must have been long ago, and goes, no, I had lunch with him yesterday. And they're like, where? And you just see your man, and he just made a bad guy or something like that, and the Doctor's like, where did you see these Time Lords? And he just kills himself. Like, no, have him be a bad guy for the entire episode, and then when he stand there, and he sees that the Doctor's using Gallifreyan technology, he's like, hey, I know Time Lords. And the Doctor's like, where did you meet this Time Lord? He's like, yesterday for lunch. Then he kills himself. And the
Can I be a
Doctor's like,
heretic?
of course, always. That's what we're here for.
I really find it hard to give a rat's ass about the Time War, and all of that stuff, because it sits in that interregnum period when everything was coming out in novel form, and there's this huge extended universe being generated. But I always thought it just bogged down the concept of Doctor Who. Doctor Who is a Time Lord run away from Gallifrey, exploring time and space off his own bat and interfering with stuff and hoping to do, it seems as he progresses, hoping to do some good, although very much not sure about that when it comes to the first Doctor initially. And all of this massive, bloated, overweight war between everything, bogging everything down. It's like, oh God.
You know what should logically have happened? Logically. The Doctor should have run into one or two other Time Lords. Time Traveler.
Yes,
at least one or two.
The way that they dealt with it in the series is like all the time travelers are gone. Really? Because not all the time travelers, like the Master being around, kind of makes sense. It didn't make sense that he got recruited by Gallifrey to do combat. It was like, yeah, you reckon he's going to be up for that? You never managed to catch him when you wanted him for crime. You managed to catch him when you want to use him as a soldier. There, and the Rani should be still running around. The Time Meddler should still be running around. There should be loads of. That's the Time Meddler. There should be loads of dodgy Time Lords who weren't
the Rani.
Caught up in the same war.
Yeah.
Stuff.
The Rani, she should be around. Sorry, we don't listen to you. But there should be a load of other Time Lords. There should have. But what I'm saying is, if someone was recruited, say tomorrow, the yesterday version should still be there. It's time travel.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, eradicating him from time is kind of a hefty, tall order, and also the perpetual destruction of Gallifrey also is something I gloss over and whenever I can ignore. It's like, yeah, okay, which is why there's a line in season 12 where one of the characters is wondering that Romana and the Doctor is there and saying, and they're saying they said they thought his species was extinct. And said, well, you don't want to talk. I heard the same thing about the Time Lords. And the Doctor goes, I can't remember the exact line I gave him, but it's something like, rumors of our death have been greatly exaggerated. basically, I don't want Gallifrey eradicated. I don't know why everyone sees it as a massive problem having Gallifrey, which seems to be a running theme with the current showrunners. Like, oh God, Gallifrey, big problem. Let's blow it up again and again and again. It's like, just stop blowing up
Gallifrey calls no more.
Yeah, but you know what
Yeah.
they should do, honestly, because Gallifrey should be saved, and I think that they should do. We'll be coming up for the 70th anniversary. Give us a good doctor and have them, instead of like destroying Gallifrey, save it and not
again.
No. I'm not talking about the Rock. I'm talking about the Society. Take the Time Lords off of Gallifrey. Have them restart somewhere else. Call that Gallifrey. Like, as they said in Asgard, if everyone is gone from one place and they are now living in another place, doesn't that mean it still survived? You could literally have an entirely new colony of Time Lords and let Gallifrey go. Let Gallifrey die. Become a myth and just say have Kazana or some world like that. Or a sister world to Gallifrey. Or Karen or something.
I just think this is a dangerous rabbit hole. This is the problem. This is why I hate the Time War. This is why I really largely ignore the whole subject whenever I'm thinking of Doctor Who's, because you end up just trying to massage this mess of multiple destructions of Gallifrey and the Time Lords over and over again. It's like, well, just forget it. Gallifrey's there somewhere in time and
You'll
space.
agree with me, Dr.
That's
Alex.
how it exists. And you know, at some point you might run into Time Lords, but just don't sweat it. Is my general attitude.
Yeah, one thing that I know that you will agree with me with is something that did not make sense. Remember in the Paul McGann Regeneration special?
Yes.
Why was
Right,
she
as a
scared of
doctor.
the Time Lords? She's
Oh,
not.
well,
Because the Time Lords
the
have been
psychology
so.
of that. The Time Lords caused the war in her mind, or them and the Daleks and everyone else who might have been involved in the Time War. They've caused the destruction, even for those who are not directly involved. So she hates all of those involved. The Daleks, whoever else in the Time War. I don't know enough to say who else. I know the Daleks and the Time Lords are involved. So she hates
the
all of
unborn
them.
child and his army of what ifs and could have beens.
That's my
But
favorite concept from the
psychology of
Time
that
War, I
character
must
does make
admit.
sense. Sorry.
No, it does not. Those words don't make sense at all.
Which-
Yeah, they do make
Which
sense.
words?
They make perfect sense.
I agree
You
with
go
you,
through time,
Master.
you find all the people that could have been, and you give them the power to be what they could have been. So instead of one Frank Sinatra, you've got 1,000, right? So instead of one Attila the Hun, you've got 10,000. Well, suddenly your side is a lot bigger than the other side. See where that goes? It's actually the best idea RTD came up with and threw away.
Do you think Doctor Who would be saved if he came back?
No.
Or do you think he's gone too far himself?
Well, the seeds of Doctor
guys,
Who's
we have a question from
destruction.
the audience. Question: is Gallifrey somehow representative of the birth/regeneration of the culture? Hence, why it has to be rebuilt and destroyed so often? No, it's just a plot that they need and use.
No, the people in charge aren't actually thinking on that level of abstraction. They're thinking of how do we get the Twitterverse all abuzz about what we have done to Gallifrey?
This is my. Go ahead.
Well, even though they promised us Gallifrey wouldn't fall again, they blew it up again just to see what Twitter would do. And Twitter said, "Oh, it's so edgy and stunning and brave." And those same people 10 minutes later were going, "What's Doctor Who again?"
Yeah.
Time can be rewritten.
It can, but this is my biggest problem. Real world. Fucking Twitter. People put their politics on Twitter and getting their politics off Twitter. This is what I say with my friends. Everyone, we don't agree on everything. Even in the fandom, we don't all agree on Doctor Who. We don't need to sit down every 5 minutes saying, "Oh, I think you're offensive because this." The thing is, I don't care what you think. If you're a good person, I'll be your friend. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. That I don't care, because I mean I've been people who should be SJWs but aren't. But the thing is, we just don't talk politics. It's like it's a boring subject all the time, and it's exhausting. And the fact that so many people's entire personalities rely on Twitter is fucking pathetic, to be honest. Also, follow me on Twitter.
That's an oxymoron if I ever heard one.
Wow.
Well, you get to see me shouting at certain three-lettered people and getting banned and things like that. It's a hobby of mine.
Anyways, let's get off of Twitter.
Dr. Alex, do you have another book to plug?
Oh,
because I know that you're time sensitive because it's a school night for you.
True. Yeah, I can probably do another half an hour. What am I looking at? Oh yeah, well, another book to plug. I've only got there's only 2 that are out currently, i.e. they exist and you can buy them, which is Season 12 and Regenerations Past. Both of which, one is entirely covered. Season 12 is entirely covered by a YouTube series, so you can watch them for free if you go to my channel and watch them.
Don't tell people that.
Well,
yeah, it's not a way to plug the book and make money.
I know, but if you like reading stuff, then get the book. You know, it's full of words and papery stuff, and you can.
Well, you're talking to a librarian, so buy the books, people.
Yeah, buy the books. Buy the books, but if you are, strapped for cash and it's troubled times we live in, then you can watch the entire thing on my YouTube channel.
And how much are these books?
Oh, that I'll do it in dollars because that's the easiest. I made this one $12 for the regeneration. For The Doctor Reads the Doctor by the Doctor season 12 is $12, and which has 12 stories in it to go with the 12 episodes for this 12th Doctor. 12 stories in it to go with the 12 episodes, which are the series that I made, which is season 12. It's basically a variant of the 12th Doctor. There's so much 12 in this; it's unbelievable. And this, the Regenerations Past, which has 8 stories in it, is $8. And obviously, they're both slightly fewer in terms of pounds because that's the exchange rate. And in other currencies, I don't know because I'm not.
And how much is it in yen?
Say again.
How much is it in yen and rubles?
No idea. But yeah, they're the only 2 that are. You could actually. Well, they're the only 2 you can buy easily. You could try and find the old short trips compilations that I'm in, which do exist on Amazon, but only secondhand for stupid amounts of money because these are like going for 25, 30, 35 quid each, which is lots of money. I know they're hardback, but even so, that's a lot because they're out of print. So because they're out of print and rare, you have trouble finding them and they're expensive.
Yeah.
So the only ones I can plug because they're available and at a normal price are my own books. So Regenerations Past and season 12. There you go.
Yeah. So
Nice.
yeah, guys, the link is hey, Old Guy Media. Can you drop the link again in the chat?
Old Guy Media.
Well, that's his name. I don't know why.
Oh, and he disappeared.
Oh no!
Hold on.
Help.
He's
you.
back in. Yay!
Button. Yes, I will go back and get that link again.
You were caught in a time eddy.
Yes.
I was.
Eddie's in the space-time continuum.
Let's put everyone back.
Eddie, what are you doing here? Well, it was about time.
Oh yeah, hey, I made Old Guy Media a moderator already. Go me. Thank you, previous Revan. You did well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One
you'll
thing
always be daft to me. Potato's so hard to remember.
Actually, there is a reason why. So when people are when I tell people about my channel, they're like, "Hey, what's your name?" And I'm like, "Oh, my username is Dark Revan," and things like that. There's like 10 million of it. Like you can call me Dark or Revan, right? But I'm just saying there's 10 million Dark Revans. So a friend of mine, and then I put the name to a private Discord that me and CSA are both in. And I'm like, hey guys, what do you think of the name Potato Revan? And they all said, go for it. It's you, you're Irish and you're Revan. Henceforth, Potato Revan. And that is why, if you actually, I'm going to embiggen myself. If you look, my avatar is actually a potato Darth Revan.
Very cool.
I am Potato Revan.
Fascinating.
How he got past the Mr. Potato Head licensings, I will never know.
My asshole is
Because
still
he can't change his parts like Mr. Potato Head can.
It's 2021. I might not be able to change my parts, but I'm able to change my thunder.
Oh God. Do you know what there was something I did find interesting. Do you remember Rory and Amy when they had River, because she was conceived in the TARDIS, she had like elements of a Time Lord in her.
She basically was a Time Lord, yes.
Right. That was a very interesting premise. I feel like they could have explored more, not with River, but like the possibilities of that happening in the past with potentially previous companions.
I think
how does that work? Had the Doctor like been jizzing all over the carpet TARDIS? And they were like,
no, actually,
wow.
Through the atmosphere. I mean, how does this work exactly?
Okay, from what I understand, it's that she was conceived as they were traveling through time. So the time particles interacted with the fetus and made her. I didn't write this, okay?
No,
me and CSA, we're having flashbacks to Star Trek Discovery. Does any of this sound familiar to you, man?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Don't bring up STDs, okay? I'm still trying to get rid of the last several seasons of it.
Yeah, I stopped watching STD about 6 episodes in because I could see just how crap it was, and it wasn't getting any better, and it was a whole level of crap above the kind of crap that, say, the Next Gen had.
It got worse.
Episodes. I mean, that you could see the potential. There was no potential in STD except, unpleasant burning sensation.
CSA, put on your stupid hat and grab your safety pillow. Okay, so
all right.
If I could switch topics just briefly.
Always.
We're talking about a really bad TV show, STD, with a fantastic name actually. And I suspect that our side in this cultural debate is getting a bit trigger happy because I saw all these videos last week saying Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 4 went woke and everyone's bailing on the series. So I actually watched episode 4, and I think the reason people are bailing on the series is episodes 1 and 2 are really dull. And episode 4, the only woke character is this kid who is becoming a mass murderer. So in a more likely way to describe it, or a more accurate way to describe it, would be it's an anti-woke episode because it's showing someone who is woke being a killer and not thinking that their killing is a bad thing until that particular character gets confronted by Sam. And because Sam has a background in counseling veterans, he's actually able to get through to her. So some of the characters have slightly left-wing views and some don't, and none of that bothers me. Here's what bothers me, is if some character says, I am woke, and the other characters say, oh, absolutely, you're right, you're stunning and brave. I don't know how anyone could disagree with you. That's when you turn the TV off. But if you have a character who is woke and characters who aren't woke and they're discussing it with each other, that's different. Especially when you make the woke character a murderer. That's a lot different than what happened in Last Jedi.
Well, let's be honest. There is a lot of woke people out there with 3 letters on their name who are murderers. So that's actually quite apt. It begins with bacon, lettuce, and mayonnaise.
Oh God, no, we're not. No,
there you go. At least somebody in the room.
Wow.
I got it, but let's don't go down that road. Don't go down that road.
But the thing is, my question is,
agree with
do you think that Donna is going to regenerate when she dies, or she'll die?
Wait? Donna's gonna. I don't think she will, because didn't she have it taken out of her?
No, she's got 2 hearts, and she's got that protection in her brain.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
When was it established that she has 2 hearts?
Wasn't it? Wait, didn't she get 2 hearts? Because I thought that she was a Meta Crisis, where she was half human, half Time Lord. I thought that she could regenerate.
No, Donna, didn't she absorb like the TARDIS's essence or something like that in that 2-parter?
Yeah, but if you also remember,
she has 1 heart.
But
she has 1 heart because
if you remember in the regeneration special, that when she was fighting against the Master or something like that, she did that blast. That was the same color as regeneration energy.
But she doesn't have 2 hearts. She has 1.
Doesn't.
That's why the Meta Crisis Doctor has 1 heart.
Right.
Yeah. Because remember,
Yeah.
because she absorbed like what? Because again, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's been a while since I've seen that episode. But she absorbed like it was like the TARDIS's like energy, wasn't it? I think, or something like that.
No, it was the doctor.
No,
Doctor's leftover regeneration energy.
Okay,
was in
that's
the
what
ha- it was
that's
in-
what it was.
it was
That
in the
doesn't mean
hand.
She's physiologically a Time Lord, a Gallifreyan. That's why it had to be blocked or stopped and have a memory removed, because she physically and mentally couldn't put up with it because she was still human.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what it was. Yeah, it's been forever
Mhm.
since I've seen that episode.
You got it, Dr. Alex.
Yeah.
Here's another question I have for you. So if a human can't take in all the knowledge that the doctor knows, but what if a human baby, I'm not talking about regeneration, I'm just saying, what if a human baby was brought to Gallifrey, brought up like a Time Lord, and was educated like a Time Lord, would they be able to remember everything?
Until they reach the age of 40, then it would start to slowly trickle away.
Is that what happened with you, Old Guy Media?
No comment.
He's just in there crying every day when he has to remember his PIN code. It's like, it's 3 numbers, man.
I can remember a PIN code. I wrote it on a piece of paper and stuck it on the wall near an open window so everyone can see it.
Like, I remember my
Could you
PIN
turn
code.
your camera on in that direction?
No,
I actually disabled the driver so I cannot turn on the camera for my laptop because
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. Uh-huh.
yeah,
really,
that's
I
Sure
what-
you did.
We've all
it's
seen
Linux.
you
You can do anything, including destroy your own operating system.
But the thing is, I know about Old Guy Media because I was there with him the day that he carved his PIN code into his daughter's forehead. So every time that he sees her, all he has to do is just look at his arrest warrant and the newspaper coverage, and there's his PIN code right there on her head.
Oh God.
It's amazing what you can remember when you're completely and totally intoxicated.
I know, right? Isn't it wonderful?
Oh my Lord.
Do you think my frustration is where the hell is Jenny?
Jenny
Jenny-
is off with David Tennant having kids. That's what happened. to
No,
her.
that's where the actress is.
Actress character.
That's where
come on.
Jenny is.
That's where
There-
Jenny should be, okay?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, where the hell is she? Because she took the rocket and fecked off. She's basically a Time Lord. Shouldn't she have made a name for herself?
Right, Potato
Well,
Revan.
here's the thing.
Yes?
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead,
Oh,
Doctor.
Potato Revan. I'll do it. Anyway.
Potato!
Potato Revan. You need to watch both of my videos saying how they could have made the Doctor female without pissing off most of the audience, because I
Yes.
go through many of the female alternative Doctor paths they could have done, which include the Doctor's daughter, the Doctor's wife,
Yeah.
whatever, you know. It's actually both the things I say is still true of what I just said in the video, but yeah. I do tackle that could have been a sensible way to make the Doctor's character female.
It could have.
Lose the Doctor as he is in some way or another, which is also covered in multiple ways in that video.
Hold on.
And there are many female Time Lords who could then step in and take the role. The Doctor's daughter being one, Romana being another. River Song could do it, although it's a bit more problematic. And of course, I nearly forgot again, Susan could have been
Of
another.
course. Yeah,
That's actually my headcanon now, that Matt Smith
Yes.
died, but somehow Susan showed up as played by Carol Ann Ford and regenerated into this new person. And the doctor said, "You have the mantle now. It's yours."
There you go.
guys, you do
And
realize that we
she
could...
takes off with the TARDIS, and that's the new Doctor Who. Doctor Who is a woman, and not an issue. But I don't think they actually wanted a woman. I think they wanted a trans woman. I think that's why that they just
let's
ignored
not
all
go
of the
into
obvious workarounds.
But let's not go into the politics on stream because, you know, I like having a YouTube channel. Hey, Travis.
I'm not saying
you
they
just-
were
you
wrong.
discovered our
I'm just
plot.
saying that's what they were
Take your
thinking.
channel down.
The videos
I'm
I was
going-
mentioning that I made have no politics in at all. They're just saying how you could do it more sensibly.
Guys, when he comes on, I'd like to welcome one of the other guys if he decides to get the link, because I just sent it to him. But yeah, but there's a lot of things in Doctor Who that could have had them shut the hell up. It's like, no, sorry about this. Just talk amongst yourselves about how awesome and sexy I am.
I mean,
Wow.
I like
That
mashed
took the
potatoes.
other
I
Sure,
know I
bro.
like fiction, but come on.
Do I hear
Oh,
crickets?
guys, I would like to welcome to the panel Travis.
What's
Travis.
happening,
Welcome,
Travis?
Hello, Travis.
So, greetings. Sorry I'm late. I just got back off my motorcycle.
Travis is by far the coolest one of us on this panel.
Do not put me on that pedestal. I'll fall off.
That's our job. Dr. Travis, Dr. Alex, Professor Brainy Specs, and old media guy. These are
Greetings.
friends of mine. And you know, CSA, he's has a 500-foot restraining order from you because of that incident that happened in the park last Tuesday night. But that's not.
We don't need to talk about that.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
they-
but well, we can't until the court order clears. It's fine.
exactly. Yeah. The injunction. My God, so many kittens. Didn't know that many kittens could fit inside a person.
So,
Anyway, moving.
I understand you guys were talking about Doctor Who. Was there
Yeah.
anything in particular?
No, we're just talking about Doctor Who. So, anything in your head about it?
Well, funnily enough, the first time I saw Doctor Who was in, early 2000s when they had one of the Doctor Who films, which was centered around the year 2000.
Mhm.
What I forget the name of that movie and who was
Literally
playing
called
it.
Doctor Who.
It's just Doctor Who.
Just Doctor
Okay.
Who.
Okay, that was the first time I was introduced to it, and I had no idea what it was going in. I'm watching this, going, "That is bananas! What is this?" So
Yeah.
my a friend of mine, John, he's like, "That's Doctor Who. You got to check it out." I'm like, "Oh, well, okay." So he takes me way back to I think like the ninth Doctor or the seventh. I can't remember.
Wait, the one before him would have been the 7th Doctor because he was the 8th Doctor.
Oh, okay. So he took me back, I think, oh God, because these were like 60s episodes is where
So
he
that would
started.
have been the 1st Doctor. First
Okay.
or
First or
second
second.
Doctor.
He's like, yeah, so he started me off as like, okay, this is going to be weird, but just go with it. All right. And I'm like, I don't like it. You phrased it like that. That worries me on a lot of levels, actually. So I started watching Doctor Who, and I started just, I guess what really drew it to me is that it wasn't afraid to be absurd, but poke at uncomfortable topics at the same exact time. It's like, this is nuts, but later down the line, you're like, oh, wow, that previous episode now makes a whole lot more sense.
Yeah. It did that. And Dr. Alex has actually written
Hello.
a couple. Hello. Has actually written a couple of books of his own, and he's
Really?
been plugging them. You want to plug them again, just in case we have some new viewers?
Oh, yeah, no,
Show us your piles.
Show us your piles.
Wow.
He's
My
not a
piles-
medical
the
doctor,
piles
by the
look-
way.
Actually, no, I have 2 piles. One of them's on the floor. It's quite disgusting. What was I?
Enlarge
Hold
the
on,
screen.
hold on. I know.
Are you inbigging me again? Oh my god!
You're
yes.
inbigging.
All right, so weird. The hands the other way around. Okay, yeah. So this one must be the Doctor reads the Doctor by the Doctor. I can read the back. I forgot I could do that. Season 12.
And you're a cosmologist.
I know.
You didn't say you were a good one.
Ouch.
Quit picking on him, Revan.
Let the man speak. Let the man speak.
Anyway.
Sorry.
Yeah, so that was the Doctor Reads the Doctor by the Doctor season 12, which is based upon the YouTube series of the same name, which has a full season of Doctor Who with the 12th Doctor essentially, or a regeneration of the 12th Doctor into something other than Chimble's mess. And in
Thank
fact,
you.
Nicely eliminates Chimble's mess, but makes reference to it. So it's not like I ignored it entirely. I just elegantly made it better. But anyway, so this is a far better rendition of the Doctor than anything the BBC's pumped out for the last 2 seasons, and it'll make people happy, unlike anything the BBC has pumped out for the last 2 seasons. Anyway, that's the Doctor Reads the Doctor by the Doctor season 12. This is the Doctor Reads the Doctor by the Doctor Regenerations Past, which is all my old, previously published, and in 2 or 3 cases, not published before stories. Hang on, how many were not published? Three. Three of them were never published before. The other 5 were published in some form or other.
Is this a collection of short stories then? Just in your hand?
They're both a collection of short stories, really. I mean, this is a short stories that forms an arc in an entire season 12.
Yeah.
This is a short story collection that has a whole bunch of stories that are not connected in the same way because they're from various different incarnations of the Doctor. Predominantly, in fact, all except one, which is a bit odd. They're all old Doctor Who. So it's 1 through... Has it got any 8 in this one? Yeah, of course, I'm being an idiot. Yeah, it's 1 through 8 in this one. Whereas this Regenerations season 12 is a regeneration of the 12th Doctor that looks like the 12th Doctor. So it's basically the 12th Doctor, but with some...
it's the same concept as David Tennant.
So what?
The fact that David Tennant was 2 10s.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a dodge which has made him look like the 12th Doctor all over again.
Okay.
So, Dr. Alex, why didn't you call it season 11? Because obviously you skipped season 11.
I did, but I had in the first episode, season 11 is covered. So this is running in parallel with the god awful season 12 that the BBC put out, which is why I called it season 12. Plus, it's the 12th Doctor. There's a whole bunch and there's 12 episodes. There's a lot of 12 symmetry in it, basically. Let's put it that way. But also, season 11 is in there. In the first episode, is mentioned. How much do you want me to spoil it? Basically,
you don't. No. I was
you don't have to spoil it because we're trying to get people to buy this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I've read it through.
Absolutely.
I've read it through chapter 8, and
season
go
11.
ahead.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it for you either. Season 11 is mentioned in there and is an integral part of the initial setup in the first episode. There you go.
Okay.
Oh, that's all.
So buy the book, folks.
Yes.
Go to Amazon and buy the book.
And this one is
having read through chapter 8,
including my Big Finish stories. The stuff I actually got paid for and commissioned and stuff. Yeah, made me feel like a real author.
For when this stream ends, those books are going to be pinned permanently as the first comment in the description below. So
definitely check it out, people. I mean, come on. He's an actual doctor. He's British. What more could you not want from an author like that? Let's just do it. Go. Get the book.
I mean, he's British. He was drinking a cup of tea earlier on. I mean, he's slightly balding.
How could you be more doctor than that? I ask you.
He's actually got a PhD. So
I know.
In
Perfect.
time and space.
What are you folks waiting for? Go get it.
Have you put any of your science jokes that say normal people won't get but you'd find funny? Have you been tempted to put anything like that in the books?
Oh, have I put jokes in season 12, for example?
That only you and people who are learning like yourself that would get.
There's a reference in the final very heart-wrenching episode of season 12, but there's a reference to Penrose. The Doctor just mutters bloody Penrose. If you know your black hole physics, then you'll understand a lot more about why he says that. So
okay.
There's the odd thing.
I'm sorry,
in there
that's a
I've
bit
thrown.
over my head.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. We're all stupid. Please explain to us what we're talking.
We're not pussy clubs that you have to look at and go, God.
I've read up
Penrose.
a lot on black holes, so
Yeah.
Well,
probably
you're in a
get it.
library. Not many people talk to you. But anyway.
Penrose won the Nobel Prize this year.
He did.
Oh.
In case you missed it, for his black hole work. Finally,
Really?
This was somewhat overshadowed by everyone going, finally, a woman's won the Nobel Prize, because he shared it with 2 other people. This is a little bit of an odd thing to shout about, given a woman won the Nobel Prize 2 years ago as well. And Penrose is a very famous scientist who everyone's been wondering if he would ever get a Nobel Prize, because everyone talks about Hawking. Penrose is more important than Hawking, and this is why he's got the freaking Nobel Prize for his black hole work, because he's that important. And everyone buried the lead on this story. No, Penrose has finally got the Nobel Prize before he died. Thank God. Never mind.
I would definitely like to read into Penrose then. I'm completely unfamiliar with the man, but it sounds like someone I definitely need to look into.
He
Yeah.
did do a popular science book, and I use that phrase very cautiously, called The Blind Watchmaker.
Mhm.
But I've read it or started to read. My dad read it as well, but I started to read it as someone who's actually got some, some grounding in the field, and I found it bloody hard. I didn't get through the whole thing. It was like, this is for the general public to trawl through. Yeah, it's hard going. Meant to be for everyone to enjoy.
Okay,
Yeah, well,
cool.
that sounds
I'll
like a
definitely
good
look
app.
into this then.
Yeah.
I get the title wrong. I'll have to go and look it up now. I lost it.
It's all good. It's all good.
Okay. There is one thing that people who are much bigger Whovians than I'll ever be. The one thing I always tried to figure out in the series was the Time War. That took me a while to wrap my head around.
Yeah, we
Dr. Alex, it's 11:30. Do you want to start making tracks?
Oh,
Do you want me to go?
No, I don't want you to go. Well, I'm saying you were saying that's a school night and things like that.
I know. I'll give it 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
okay.
I'm saying that for the next half an hour. No doubt.
we should just hold up the
The way
cards
these
like in
things go.
SpongeBob SquarePants. 5 minutes later.
It's all timey-wimey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. With the Time War, Travis, we were just I think we all agreed, because we kind of talked about a little bit about
Okay.
it, is that it's kind of almost unnecessary when you talk about it, because there's because the problem is, okay, Time Lords were defeated, Daleks won, great, but then there's all these other broken pieces spread out throughout the whole entire Doctor Who series where it's like, oh, this doesn't make sense, that doesn't make sense, well, why is this, why is that? And it's just, and it's like when you hear the Time War, everyone's like, oh, the Time War, when it's like, okay, it's
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out, because they would mention it and like people would do like the whole, quiet whispers like, oh God, he just brought it up. It's like, yeah, but context, please. A little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's like you get a feeling of it when Capaldi was talking to what are their names? Those people with the sucky tongues who can change forms.
Oh,
Zygoth.
yes.
Zygon, yeah,
Zygons.
Yeah,
Zygons, yeah.
When he was talking to the one who was in Clara's body, and he said, "You call this thing? You call this a war? I fought in a bigger war than you will ever know. You don't know who's going to burn. When I close my eyes, I still hear the screaming, and it's like, what did you do?"
Yeah, the problem is the Time War is never actually covered, and I think that I think it's a big reason why a lot of people still talk about it, is because it was never formally covered, so you could put it to rest.
Yeah,
It never was.
And to me, I don't think they should cover it. Number one, it's too big for a television budget. They can never do it justice. And number two, there's mystique about it. Don't,
It's like
it's like the
Yoda.
doctor. It's like the doctor's name. Don't reveal it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to correct a mistake I made.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
the Penrose book that I had and lost, which was difficult to get my head around, anyone to get their head around, but it's meant to be general public accessible, is The Emperor's New Mind, which is mostly about AI and computing and how computers can think or possibly
Okay.
not. The title I gave you is actually one of Dawkins' books, which for some reason floated into my head, which has nothing to do with it. And his books are much more accessible. But Penrose, The Emperor's New Mind. If you want to torture yourself, go get it.
I'm a masochist. I'll do it.
yeah. You know what? Fuck it. Let's end it. For those of you who know him, let's end it to Poe.
What?
Huh?
Brain
Cut out.
Specs,
Say that
you know
again?
him? Let's end it to Poe. You know him?
Oh, I
Brain
do know
Specs?
Poe. Yes. Yeah, I do.
Let's end it to him and have him read it.
I think you're playing with fire there, Riven, although you usually do.
Yeah, well, I mean, do you expect anything more out of Revan? I've come to just accept that's how it is with him.
Well, like I said, that's what he usually does. So yeah.
It's like there's a fire over there. Yeah, we built a cage around it to keep Revan out of it.
Well,
Yeah, he probably caused the fire.
Yeah,
well,
probably.
one of her friends, she was talking, and she said, you know, well, when we start playing with Revan, I'm quite convinced that we're going to see a big monster over there, and when we're like, okay, guys, this is our strategy, this is what, where the hell is Revan? I'm going to give it a hug, and I'm like, I'm going to hug the hell out of that monster.
That sounds like you.
That does sound like you.
Mm,
That does sound like you. But anyways, going back to your thing, Jarvis. Yeah, I think with the Time War, there needs to be a mystique. I think there needs to be, although part of me says just put it to rest. Give us like a big BBC special that covers the Time War over a series kind of thing, however many episodes. Part of me wants that, just it puts it to rest. But like somebody else on the panel said, I like the mystique about it, where you don't really know what happened. You don't really get much details. All you know is that it was a devastating war that is still affecting the universe today.
Hey, you're back connected, old media guy.
Yes, I had to go to the toilet with what Chris Chibnall has done to us.
So basically, you blew up the bathroom.
Did you hear about that story from Wichita where the guy walked into a Best Buy or something and said, "Excuse me, I'm about to blow up the bathroom." They called the cops on him, and it turned out he just had too much.
Did you hear about what happened yesterday in Florida?
Oh my God.
Some guy in a yellow truck drove up the road, stopped in someone's driveway, got out, took off his shirt, took off his pants, dropped the load on the driveway, and drove off.
That sounds like Florida.
Florida man has struck again.
Yeah.
No. Yep. I am Florida man. That man is. He'll be.
That man's your uncle.
No. My bald eagle's already been sent off to deal with him. Don't worry. You won't hear from him.
I asked Phil, was this your friend? And he said, I hate you.
Oh, that's I got nothing. Wow.
I don't even know what to... that's like
you strange potato man.
No, you know what that is? That's South Park, where he's like, when Cartman's like, you know what? If you don't want anybody to be in your neighborhood, you shit on their front door. Is that why there's crap on my doorstep every morning? Oops.
God.
That's fucking South Park. Somebody actually did.
Oh my God. No. Why you do?
Life imitates art, and art what is it? Life imitates art,
and art
imitates television. Something like that.
I don't. It's one of those sayings.
No, if you really want someone out of your neighborhood, what you do is, as soon as they move into their house, you start telling them that you're Jesus, and you don't even have to be mentally ill, but just go up and introduce yourself as Jesus. And when they go to shake your hand, take out your dick.
Well, this show has really gone off the rails.
Yeah, I mean,
well, I have my own thoughts about the new series with Chibnall.
Yeah,
and I don't. It's not that I don't think. What's her name? Jodie Whittaker. Is that her name?
Yeah,
Jodie.
Mm-hmm. I wish someone would have looked at her and said, tone down the crazy a bit and be a bit more snarky, or just something. Give her a personality other than bemused child. I don't get it. I don't.
Yeah. I know a lot of people,
Professor,
a lot of people
like her.
A lot of people
more
do want to blame Jodie Whittaker, but I don't, because there's no point blaming the monkey when the organ grinder is inept.
Dude,
that was kind of what I was getting at, because she's given the direction. They're like, do this, and she goes, okay, I do that. That's how acting is. So whoever's giving her direction, I don't know the name because I just did not invest that much time into the series, or at least series 13. Chimble. Okay, so Chimble, dude, bemused child is not a constant state of mind, okay? The Doctor actually had moments where he blew people away with brilliance. Can we have that, please?
Yeah.
No,
I think-
Doctor.
I think Jodie Whittaker could do it. I think she could just come out as she could like drop like that, like how the Doctor's personality will like penny swap, like you just boom this, boom that, as it needs. I think she could do it if they'd let her.
Yeah, I
It's-
think
that's assuming she has the charisma to pull off the role, which as of now I am not convinced
I think she
does.
could. If
I
given
don't-
the right direction, I think you can do a lot
I
with an
don't
actor.
because I've seen her in Chibnall's last show, Churchill,
Broadchurch.
Broadchurch,
yeah.
and she couldn't act for shit in that. She was being
I don't
drowned in
know.
it.
I thought
and
she was
Bode
better
well
in
then.
that.
she was being drowned in it, and I didn't believe her that she was drowning.
She was
Now,
in
I'll
an
say
American
this.
spy. She was in an
Hold on.
American espionage series that lasted 2 episodes. It's on Netflix. It's about an actual U.S. spy, and I guess she's the one who caught the dude. And I watched about 10 minutes, and I said, "This is a bad representation of an American Smiley's people." And she's
But-
supposed to be the heroine, and I really don't want to watch her, and I just don't. And some
But,
people have that
we were
charisma, like
saying
Robert Downey
maybe-
Jr. The rest of us don't, and she just doesn't have that.
What were you saying, Professor?
Well, they introduced an incarnation of the Doctor. And a lot of people say she's prior to Hartnell. I'm not sure of that. Joe Martin plays her, and I thought she did the role much better than Whittaker.
I don't care
Yes,
that
the
they
actress they chose
introduced
was
her.
well chosen.
I don't care
Yeah.
that they introduced her as a female doctor. I don't care. My thing is the number that she was. That's my biggest problem. Is her fucking.
Well, we don't
number.
know what number.
She
Why
better
would
be
she
the
not
future.
reckon? She better be the future. No. You know what? There's enough alternate doctors running around out there. Matt Smith proved it that there's a few alternate doctors running around because there was that 200-year-old Matt Smith who was running around, who then went and was shot by the astronaut. Who? Yeah, you know him.
Oh,
Yeah,
that episode, yeah.
yeah, but that proves that there could be an alternate Doctor Who. Who's to say that there's not an alternate Doctor Who line from, let's say, the second Doctor, in one timeline he does one thing that makes us see him regenerate, and in the second timeline he completely fecks off and regenerates in another line.
Oh, that's the Devious storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and
Yeah.
that's the problem
It's
is
on
that-
YouTube.
Yeah, I mean the thing is if you see certain actors in other roles, you know they were meant to be the Doctor. Like if you see Tennant in other movies or TV shows he's been in, he's great. He's phenomenal in the way he does. So
That's true.
that charisma, that just presence that he puts into his characters, no matter which one, whether you go Harry Potter, Good Omens, Jessica Jones, he plays the role so well and he embraces it. He literally becomes that character and he sells it. And I'm hearing like a rumbling sound. Is that?
Oh no, that's
That's
someone
me typing. Sorry.
No. Somebody's outside doing something. It was like a low
Oh,
rumbling
okay.
sound. I was like, I didn't know if
Oh.
Hey
somebody.
guys, I gotta get going.
I couldn't hear it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's why I
Travis?
didn't know.
Yeah,
brother.
sorry to
Right.
pop in and out, but
See you,
it
man.
seems like I'm not done being busy today. Good grief.
No worries.
No
We're glad
worries.
to
All
have you,
right.
man.
Well,
No worries, man.
Good meeting
talking to you.
everybody.
Take care.
I'll
Yeah,
try,
I'll see ya.
Revan, I'll try to make it
Yeah.
next weekend.
Wednesday.
I don't have anything planned, so
No,
Yeah,
he can't
are
make
you
it
going-
Wednesday. He's got to work.
Oh,
no, weekend.
Okay. Well, if we have no topics for next week, we'll do a Jackbox.
Okay,
As well.
I'll see if I can make that. All right,
Okay, so later,
All right.
later.
take care.
I would like to apologize for that awful woman.
Oh God.
I think you're right about the. I'm not blaming Jodie Whittaker for
Yeah.
the terrible Doctor that she's portraying, but I'm also not apologizing for her. I don't think she's necessarily a good actress.
No, but
either.
she's
But the other actors had all shown their chops in other roles. Even William Hartnell had a lot of character acting roles in
Yeah.
films throughout
Mhm.
the 50s. Troughton was always amazing as a character actor. I mean, his
Wasn't he
role,
one of the biggest?
small as it was,
He was
in Jason and
amazing.
the Argonauts as the blind priest was
yeah.
freaking amazing. John Pertwee, his prior stuff I'm not familiar with, but he captured Wurzel Gummidge, whether you love him or hate him, it was another iconic character he had. He could do that. He could make a character his own and run with it. Tom Baker, just before he became the Doctor, was Kura in the second of the 1970s. Actually, not the second. It was the first of the 70s Sinbad films, which was Was it Golden Voyage or
yes, Golden Voyage.
Yeah,
Golden Voyage.
he was
Yes,
brilliant as the wizard in that. A crazy mad wizard, but brilliant at it. Peter Davison was great as the wet vet. I mean, he proved his acting chops before he was the Doctor. Colin Baker, I don't know as much about his acting, but he was clearly a good actor. He was just very poorly serviced by the scripts and the direction he's been given. Sylvester McCoy.
Colin Baker actually, during Doctor Who, Colin Baker actually had a major tragedy. Whilst he had a major family tragedy while he was filming Doctor Who, which he said he lost the zeal for everything. He had a child who had cot death.
Yeah.
And he just completely gave up on acting after that. Like,
I was unaware of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
And then on top of that, what happens when you have a young death like that in the family is the spouses tend to turn on each other, and it's not even a rational thing. You're just lashing out. And his ex took refuge in the arms of the guy who ran the BBC and poured out her side to him. So suddenly the BBC is saying, let's get rid of Colin Baker, not use him for anything.
They didn't even give him a regeneration episode.
They tried. They said, come back and do one last story. And he said, if I do that, I'm going to miss the auditions for all the other stuff.
Huh. Yeah. But
and also another thing about that era is the BBC screwed Colin and they screwed JNT, because JNT said, look, I've been doing this for years. I'm burned out. I want a new job. They said, fine. Your last official act as Doctor Who producer will be to call Colin Baker and fire him. He goes, okay, it's a bit harsh, but understood. So he calls Colin Baker and says, look, just before we start the panto rehearsals, I want you to know you're fired as Doctor Who. And so, okay, the Colin says, all right, fine, it's over. Goes into rehearsal with JNT for panto. They get through it. JNT gets a phone call around about January, February, where it says, we're doing Doctor Who again, and you're doing it. And JNT said, what? What about our agreement? And then it was basically, I'm altering the agreement. Pray I don't alter it any further. Mm-hmm. And that is why season 24 is such a wreck, is that he was against the clock and had to find a brand new script editor who had to find all of his friends to submit some kind of story so they could get 14 episodes cobbled together. That doesn't feel like Doctor Who. It feels like the Dominator's Redux. It's just so bad, some of it.
I don't know.
But that's why it wasn't because everyone was failing at their jobs. It was because the BBC was screwing the series so hard behind the scenes.
I don't know.
I actually thought the first and last stories of season 24 weren't too bad. They weren't great, but they weren't bad.
Yeah.
I
don't know if this is true, but in the Irish con circuit, there's a couple, as with everyone, there's a couple of Doctor Who rumors and things like that going around. But they said that Christopher Eccleston knew that he couldn't continue on another season of Doctor Who by episode 5. He didn't let it affect his work. It's just they said that he knew he couldn't because of his illness. His mental
Eccleston was ill?
Eccleston had anorexia, anxiety, and a tad of OCD and severe depression while still Doctor Who.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's why he's then. Yeah, that's why he was absent for so long.
Yeah, those clothes that he was actually wearing on Doctor Who, he's actually wearing more layers underneath it. So he's wearing a t-shirt and he's wearing other stuff. As skinny as we see him, he's actually a lot skinnier underneath it because he was in a movie around the same time where he's wearing a shirt on him and he's skin and bones. Like, he makes Dr. Alex look fat.
I remember the episode, I think it was the one with the Dalek in, where he stripped off his shirt. And I remember looking pretty skinny in that. I mean, he didn't look terrible, but he did look very, very, there wasn't much about him, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they said that afterwards, he said it took him a long time. Now, from what I heard, he's saying, "Oh, I'll go back to Doctor Who," but for years he was saying that he can't put himself into any of the characters that he had played back then in that mental state, and that's why it took us so long to see him as Doctor Who, wearing the clothes. But the thing is, if they want to bring him back, I think that they should, because he is the entire reason that we've gotten Doctor Who. It's because it's all based on his footsteps. But we've been going
Well,
for
they
an hour.
brought him back in Big Finish.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, but that's only the voice. But I just mean like when he wears the clothes with the haircut and everything like that, it's a whole mental thing that you're standing there looking at yourself in your worst point of your life again.
He's another actor,
Right,
by the
yeah.
way, who showed that they had chops before Doctor Who. I mean, and subsequently as well. But he was. I always remember him in Shallow Grave. He did that really well, and it always sticks in my memory, that one.
Yeah, I liked him. I didn't like the series, but I liked him. Did any of you guys see? Oh, he was a pastor. What? Left Behind. Basically,
I heard about it. I never caught it.
Yeah,
He wasn't in Left Behind.
he was.
No, he wasn't.
No, it's a show like Left Behind, but it's not actually Left Behind. The premise is the same.
Oh,
Yeah, it's one of those, but basically he was in it, and I liked him in it, but I didn't like his show. I know that there's two shows that were really similar, and both of them got really weird, really fast. Yeah, but guys, we've been going for about 2 hours. I think this is a good point to put Dr. Alex to bed and let CSA go and cry in the corner for a while.
You mean
I
I'd
think
made
he
it
can
through
put
the whole
himself
thing?
to bed.
Yeah, but I think this is a good place to end. Guys with YouTube channels, do you want to plug yourselves on Dr. Alex? We give you one more chance to plug. I know what I said.
What?
Huh?
But we'll give Dr. Alex one more chance to push the book. So, Master, you go first. You do your thing, then CSA, you do the Common Man cast, okay?
sounds good.
Okay, so Omega, you go ahead.
Yes, I have a couple of videos that you may want to check out. They've gone viral. They are basically clips from the different Goes Wrong episodes, plus Peter Pan Goes Wrong and so forth. And they apparently are really good for if you want a quick laugh for about 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, his YouTube channel is called It's called The Old Media Guy, and that is his avatar. CSA, bud, do you want to push the CMC?
Yeah. So, Common Sense America here, and I'm part of a group of 7 in total, but 6 other ruffians, and we call ourselves the Common Man Cast. We do live streams and recorded podcast episodes about all sorts of cultural stuff, sports, non-sports, whatever. We do gaming live streams every Thursday, and we're just kind of raw, unedited, really, in our opinions, like common men and women. So check us out. It's a Common Man Cast. Like, subscribe our channel, follow us, and check us out whenever we get a live stream going or post an episode.
Dr. Alex, you want to push your books again?
All
right.
Yeah, sure. Yes. So the older of the 2 books, by a matter of a few months, is The Doctor Reads the Doctor by the Doctor, Season 12, based upon the amazing YouTube alternate Season 12 of Doctor Who, which does better than Jimble, which is that's a very low bar. That's a bar so low it's actually been buried. So, I can cross that quite easily. Anyway, that's The Doctor Reads the Doctor by the Doctor, Season 12, available on Amazon. Go get it. It's awesome. It's so immodest advertising, isn't it? And also, The Doctor Reads the Doctor by the Doctor, Regenerations Past, which is all my previous published and a couple of unpublished Doctor Who works, all compacted into one amazing compilation of 8 stories, a little bit thinner than the other one, and a little bit cheaper. Go to Amazon today and buy both of them, or one of them, or both of them, or buy them twice and send them to a friend.
Well, that's good. Now, there's two more
Revan.
people. Yes.
I don't get to plug.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Didn't think you had anything to plug.
Well,
That is my
yeah,
fault. Go ahead.
I do. Oh,
Go ahead. Plug.
I am a co-host on History with R&R. We cover historical information. So if you love history, check us out. We have a live stream going tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time.
And I will be there.
And yes, Revan will be our special guest. Lord help us.
Yep. I promise I will actually be behaving this time because this is a more serious channel. So I will be behaving.
Oh, you
will
better.
get taken down in 10 minutes with him on.
Oh no,
Oh,
I
God.
could take down the Twitch thing. But yeah.
I'll warn Robert.
Oh yeah.
But he knows you, so
Yeah. But the Jeff here has taken over our dearly departed friend Admiral's seat, which Jeff, man, we're very grateful that you did that. You're doing a fantastic job as well.
Well, thank you. There's no way I could replace Richard, but I was honored. I was honored to be asked to be the co-host, and I want the show or the channel rather to succeed.
Yeah.
So check us out. I don't have privileges to put the link in the chat, but if you could do that,
No, but
Ronan,
if you
I put it in.
Oh, sweet.
oh, thank you.
Yep, I see it
Thank
right
you.
there.
Yeah.
Thank you. The other show I'm on is A Question of Trek, and it's two teams of Trekkers, and they answer trivia questions based upon the Star Trek shows. I am the referee and scorekeeper for the show, and we go live every Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Would love to have you there. It's a lot of fun, a lot of jokes, and the points don't really matter.
Hey, Professor, can I ask you a quick question? Can you just post something in the chat and I'll give you a wrench so you can post your links?
Sure.
I just posted the both links there.
Yeah.
That's right. The points don't matter, just like season 12 and its irrelevancy.
Yes. Season 12 is
Well,
not
I
relevant,
think we're a
but
little more relevant than that.
I was trying to come up with a quick whose line is it anyway thing.
The
There you
points
go.
don't matter,
Now
just
he
like the
knows.
2020 U.S. presidential.
I'm sorry, but Miss Clinton has taken out old guy media. We're now here with old woman media. But
I just posted those links in the chat there.
Thank you very much, bud. So
Thank you.
so now on so there's two more people who are part of Potato Revan who are not here. That is Katala Laris. She is doing, if you guys, anyone watching this wants to really, really like Guild Wars, and you just want to watch a couple of friends just sitting around having a laugh and stuff going wrong, and you really like giggles and things like that, I would honestly go and check out Katala Laris. That is literally her YouTube name. She's very creative with it. So I'd go and check that out. Then there is another one for Vithia. I'm going to link him in the channel. His YouTube name is for Vithia Guardian. He's a drastically undersubbed guy. And if any of you guys are interested in the likes of retro gaming, now he's only getting started. Okay, so he's trying to find his feet. But the thing is, he plays retro games. He's a good laugh, and if any of you like grumbles and things like that, he's very good at it. And he swears in languages that I'm pretty sure he doesn't even know. But he's a great guy. He's a good laugh. He's a member of CMC and Potato Revan, him and Katala. And I would go over and subscribe to both of them. They need attention. If you haven't subscribed to Potato Revan, please, I need friends. I don't have any friends. Please like and subscribe to me. I need attention. And every week we're planning on doing between 1 and 2 streams. We're planning on having one topic stream, possibly on a Sunday, or else on a Friday or a Wednesday. The day will vary. We are going to do a Jackbox stream. which will basically be as many of the rest of Potato Revan as we can physically get on a thing, and you guys in the audience yourselves will be able to participate. And we will have rolling guests on Jackbox streams, just sitting down. It's basically a turn your brain off, just be as crude as possible stream as everything. But this is going to be our thing from the future on. It's going to be basically 2 streams a week, a Jackbox stream and a topic stream. And I'd like to thank all of you for watching. I'd like to thank Dr. Alex for coming and joining and plugging his books. Old Guy Media, thank you very much for joining us. You too, Professor.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. You're all welcome back on anytime. Well, guys, I'm going to end it here. So all of you have a great night, and thanks for watching.